This video is brought to you by HATD.com, the super cool guys behind the super cool Kickstarters The Wandering Tavern and Sky Zephyrs. These are system-agnostic settings inspired by the world of Studio Ghibli, and also skyships. If you haven't heard of them before, you're seriously missing out. These guys thought of everything. Awesome characters, unique quests, a system for 3D aerial combat, and my new favorite thing, an online vehicle builder, where you can customize any vehicle you can imagine. Check out The Wandering Tavern and Sky Zephyrs using the link in the description below, and don't forget to use code DungeonDelver to get 10% off your order. A huge thank you to homieandthedude.com for sponsoring this video. They all say I'm going to get in trouble one day, but nobody's caught me yet. Not really. I may not be the most powerful god, sure, but I always get mine. I ride through the shadows just at the edge of the light, where few suspect the threat to be. When I am gone, you'd never know I was there, for I leave no trace, not even a whisper. I've duped Paylor out of followers and dice games. I've snuck in and out of the Banehold, just to show him I could. The looks on their faces are always so sublime, if I enjoy them. Usually I'm gone before they even realized what happened. A good thief always has a plan, and my plans, my skills, are the only allies I need. Whether I'm snatching purses, stealing gems, or slitting throats, I always have a plan. Work smarter, not harder. It's an adage I share with my followers. Oh sure, I'm more of a loner god, but any god worth their salt wouldn't be caught dead without a clergy of their own. My followers know that the mask sees all that goes on in the dark, and to trust it. You're safe in the shadows. If you walk in the light, you'll be blinded, naive, made an easy target. I'm not a helicopter god. My followers either sink or swim, so they best learn to swim through the shadows quickly. I'll be there to teach them a thing or two, but I'm certainly not going to hold their hand the whole way. Not like those so-called gods of justice. Gods of justice are so rigid. So black and white. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change a thing. As much as I love poking holes in the philosophies of the goodly deities, who would I steal from? Who would I manipulate? Who would I trick? It'd be awfully boring. Their biggest misunderstanding of me, I think, is that I am a god of shadows, not darkness. Darkness is the absence of light, but shadows don't exist without light, so I think I'm in more of a gray area. I'm no saintly deity by any means, but I'm definitely no Shar either. That woman has issues. Better to be in the gray, I think. Never quite in the right, but never fully in the wrong either. It's better to watch and listen, to play all sides, so you always come out on top. Or at least, not on the bottom. Working smarter, not harder. Another nugget of divine wisdom I bestow my followers is that honesty is a fool's virtue, but apparent honesty is a powerful tool. Deception, blurring the lines between truth and falsehoods, the half-truth, that is where the true power lies. I remember once that Tyr asked me to prove myself. He wanted to know if I really could see all that dwelt within the shadows. I told him it doesn't matter if I am lying. What only matters is that he can't be sure that I'm not lying. The great warriors of gods and mortals alike, they have their glories, but tend to be very, tragically short-lived. I teach my rogues to strike from the gray of the shadows, taking down men and monsters twice their size before disappearing again. Leave the glorious speeches and hero worship to the paladins and wizards, the Mistras and Tyrs of the world. At least you'll get to live long enough to enjoy your honestly gotten gains. Yes, I said honestly gotten. Thievery may be done in ill will, but it takes honest skill to perform a heist. To steal something requires a lot of effort, and if I could steal it from you, well, you never really deserved it, did you? One would think you'd pull out all the stops to keep safe what you hold dear, because at the end of the day, ownership is just a matter of possession. A third bit of divine wisdom I bestow my followers. I encourage them to go out and acquire riches in any way they can, as long as they don't get caught. But I also urge them to steal only what is necessary. Only go after those treasures that are most worth your time and effort. Leave the hoard of gold when it's the crown jewel that you're after. In a way, you honor both yourself and the person you're stealing from. I told Saloon the same thing when my chosen robbed a precious treasure from one of her moon shrines. We agreed to disagree. I hate to admit it, but even I was caught off guard during the time of troubles. One minute I'm plotting my next big trick, and the next I'm being robbed. Robbed of my divine power and sent plummeting into the mortal realm. Honestly, I really should have seen it coming. I always keep an ear out for the business of other deities, and I learned that the Dead Three were getting way too ambitious, trying to steal from Ao the Overgod. Not even I would dare attempt a heist that risky. I admire their lofty goals, but in a heist, only two things matter: results, and surviving long enough to enjoy those results. The Dead Three had royally fucked up the former, and with any luck, someone will rob them of the latter. As for me, I worry about my own survival. Everyone would be looking for fallen gods made mortal. They'd be looking for living beings, so I used the last of my power for one final trick. I took the form of a powerful sword, God's Bane. Work smarter, not harder. I bided my time, moved from one hand to the next, the new wielder killing the old, until I came into the hands of a very interesting individual, Cyric. He used me to slay the now mortal Baal, the Lord of Murder murdered. Then again, Cyric stole the portfolios of death and the dead from Bane and Merkel. In that moment, I wish I could have told them off for their idiocy in causing all this, but being the blade that slits their throats was just as satisfying. Eventually, the time of troubles passed, and gods got to return to the heavens. But not me. I felt it was better to bide my time a little bit longer. Maybe I could steal the portfolios of death from Cyric, until he learned of my true identity, and the upstart mortal snapped God's Bane in two, and stole some of my divinity. Weakened and broken, I did what any good rogue would do. I ran for my life. I ran to the safety of the Shadowfell, and there met with Lady Shar, the goddess of darkness, the lady of loss. She would keep my essence safe, if I would repay an old debt to her. I was always one for cutting deals, and it seemed my bill had finally come due. I owed her my life, after all, so life is what I gave her. She absorbed what little was left of my godhood. My divine power allowed her to return to her former glory, in a manner of speaking, though the rest of me would be cut up and moved about between mortals and immortals alike. Still, things were set in motion now. All I had to do was wait for the opportune moment. I am the master of intrigue for a reason, and the seeds I had planted long before the time of troubles were finally bearing fruit. My dear mother Shar had been gathering some more divine essence from across the plains, all to enact a ritual, one that would see her snuff out the stars and envelop all in her darkness. The cycle of night. Everything seemed lost, not just for the whole of creation, but even for me. The god of thieves had finally been caught. Anyone else would have panicked or given up, but not me. A good thief never loses their head, and always has a plan. While Shar greedily ate up more and more mortal worlds, she subsumed more and more divine essence along the way. In her greed and desire to envelop all in pure darkness, she didn't realize what exactly she was picking up, or more specifically, who she was picking up. By the end of it, she had gathered all the lost pieces of myself, something that I never could have done on my own, weak as I was. So, when Mother Dearest expected her ritual to snuff out the sun and encase all in her miserable darkness, instead she got me. Mask. The Lord of Shadows had returned, in all his glory. She wasn't very happy about that. No, not happy at all. It seems I didn't inherit smarts from my mother. You think with how much she likes to manipulate and lie to others, she really would have seen this coming. I gave her a bow, thanked her for bringing me back to my full power, and slipped away again, leaving her to her rage. Now I live within the shadows once more, just at the edge of the light, thieving, plotting, tricking, assassinating as it benefits me. Like it or not, everyone wears a mask sometimes. The real trick is knowing when to wear the right one. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this content and you want to go the extra mile to support the channel, then please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and hey, why not become a patron, where every month you get a brand new homebrew monster complete with stats, treasure, and combat tactics to use in your games, as well as early ad-free access to all my long-form videos. Thanks again for watching, check out other videos on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!